And we are back on the WHHI-TV Daily News. Mayor Alan Perry is here, and we, of course, are coming off Election Day. So I think we're all kind of breathing a sigh of relief that maybe that's behind us a little bit.
Yeah. So the TV ads will be gone. So yes,
Right.
that'll be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about town council, because it's going to look a little bit different. We had 2 resignations, so you had 2 open seats. Alex Brown, of course, was reelected.
Right.
But you do have 2 new people that are coming to you. Steve DeSimone, who was a council person,
Correct.
but not under you.
That's correct. That's correct.
And then
Melinda
Tunner. I had Tunner, but I couldn't. Her first name was escaping me.
Yeah.
And so I think she's a little bit newer to the area as well. So.
She is, but she's got a little bit of history, and she's got a great background that she's going to bring to us.
Yeah. So let's talk about what you think council's going to look like now.
Yeah, so great question. Having Steve come back on is going to be a really interesting aspect because he's got a lot of island history, as well as I do, and Alex Brown.
Right.
Melinda, she's going to bring in a little bit more financial background, so we haven't had that banker type role since Tom Lennox left. So that'll be nice to have. Where we go, we'll see. We just we're not even 24 hours off of it yet,
Right, of course.
I've reached out to everybody this morning, had conversations, and we'll start getting together, bringing everybody up to speed, especially the two new seats, and get them up and going.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk too. You're coming to the end of your 2nd year.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about a little retrospect. We're going to get to something else that I know.
Yeah.
But we're going to get there. But in retrospect, this 2nd year and what you are hoping to do moving forward.
Right. So in the 2nd year, we learned let's slow down. Let's slow down to go faster. Let's do it right. Let's give staff the opportunity to do their job. And we try to push a lot of different things through, and obviously we were coming off of COVID,
Right.
So there were a lot of things that we were trying to accomplish. So let's just make certain that the staff is in play, the staff has their directives as to what they need to do to address those issues that we're trying to tackle. Land management ordinance is going to be one of the things that we're going to come out of the gate on beginning in January, so that's a big topic. But we're not going to try to push as much through next year because we want to make sure we get it right.
Okay, excellent. And so we do need to talk about
Yeah.
a little bit of the elephant in the room, and that is, of course, that the penny sales tax referendum was voted down.
That's correct.
And so kind of where do we go from here? Why do you think maybe that happened, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, so why it happened. There have been a couple of tax referendums that have been through before, not all well utilized, I think, to the community's liking.
Right.
A little bit of transparency issues there. Michael Moore, the new county administrator, is very new into that role, several months now, so he hasn't had an opportunity to gain the trust of the community.
Sure.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Where we go, we're just having that conversation this morning. What do we do? How do we look at those projects that we want to move forward? Is it a TIF, tax increment financing district, that we need to put into play for some of the items? Does the county come back in 2 years and try it again? I think there needs to be some work done on the county side. I think that they need to show more about what happened on the last one that was done in 2018, where those funds stand now, where projects stand now. And we know that there was not enough funding for some of them.
Right.
But how do we turn that going forward into trust and getting those projects done? So there's a lot of questions still to be answered.
And of course, we have about a minute left, but does it affect the bridge project?
So it does, to the point of what was going to go, how we were addressing Stony area, what we wanted to see through there. So does that need to be a part of a TIF district as well? So those are things we need to look at and understand, but also, is the county going to plan to come back with another referendum?
Right. And I, to your point, I think obviously maybe there was not enough transparency, a little bit of mistrust. And so you said to be a little bit more transparent and get Michael Moore some, more miles under his feet.
Right.
But what else can they do to earn that trust if they do intend to put it back in 2 years?
Well, they've done a good job of compiling all those projects and showing the funds that have come through, what those projects were going to cost, where they were short funds. I'm not sure that came out soon enough. Right. There were a lot of questions behind the scenes that we were all working on that, hey, we have got to make certain that this is all transparent for everybody to understand so a good decision could be made.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here today, this day after the election. All really interesting information, and looking forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Yeah, thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You as well. And we'll be back in a moment with more, so don't go away.